A debacle in Lansing. No roads deal.
Yep, but there is a resolution, whatever that is. The Now's Jim Kirchner spent a good part of the week in Lansing speaking with legislators and the governor about a new plan to fix our roads. But all they could come up with was another vacation. Jim, what's up?
Yeah, you want to get mad? Okay, they had 3 weeks off, June to July, then a brief session, then another 3 weeks off, July to August. They had 3 days scheduled this week. They only did 2. They went home a day early. They're not back until after Labor Day, September the 9th, and still no fix on the roads.
Jim, bring us up to speed where we are, though. You had the House pass something, you had the Senate pass something, so what are they all doing right now?
All the focus right now is on the House, and they were zeroing in on essentially 2 components. They need $1.2 billion a year to fix the roads. They got there very simply. $600 million in gas tax and registration fee increases. That's half of it. The other half, they were going to move $600 million from the general fund and programs to roads. Now, there are some problems with that. Democrats don't like that. The governor's office isn't real cool about that. And I talked to the House Speaker today. He's actually the one calling the shots. He decided last night, in the middle of the night, around 8, 9 o'clock, to send everybody home after House members sat for 10 hours yesterday waiting for a compromise to vote on. That never happened. He says they were getting close on those components, $600 million, and then it blew up. Listen to what he told me today.
We thought that was a very fair plan, and at the end of the day, we had a situation where others wanted to add things to it that were not roads. And I think that this was a very dangerous course because it was really starting to resemble a replay of Proposal 1.
And, of course, nobody likes that. That's what the voters said no to in May. So here's the good news, if there is. The 4 leaders from both chambers, Republicans and Democrats, are meeting this afternoon with the governor. They're going to continue to talk, but they're only a small part of this. They have to get all 110 members of the House to jump on board. That hasn't happened yet.
You know, Jim, they have to be aware of what it looks like to everybody else. I mean, if they're not, I mean, this is a whole other problem, but how it looks for them to be taking yet another vacation before they get this done.
And the criticism centers on actually 2 words, marathon talks. Instead of letting everybody go home, they should have stayed with it. Locked them in the room. Here's your pizza. Here's your coffee. We're not leaving until we're done.
Yeah, we've
That's
all
the criticism.
had long days and nights for sure. Let's talk about this resolution. Stephen started by saying they did come up with a resolution. This had nothing to do with the resolution on the roads. We're talking about Representatives Courser, Gamrat, the affair, the cover-up on Courser's part. Tell us what's going on with that.
This is the resolution they passed in the House last night on a voice vote. This will set up a 6-member committee, 4 Republicans, 2 Democrats. Those members have not been named yet, but they're going to look into this scandal. It's the sex and the cover-up. But the first step is they're waiting for the House business investigation to conclude. The House Speaker says he expects to have that report early next week. He'll give it to the committee members once he appoints who those are. The committee will then take a look at it. Their options are a censure or an expulsion. They can also subpoena witnesses. The investigation in the House does not do that. But this is all leading up to, should Courser and Gamrat stay? Are they, quote, fit for office? If they don't take themselves out in a resignation, this could do it for them.
Hey, Jim, at the end of this road, if it's not just whatever the House decides to do to them, are there any legal options on the behalf of the state? We've talked a lot about them using state resources to cover up an alleged crime.
Actually, my sources are telling me that there is documentation. There are emails. There is the evidence that even though Todd Courser, when he spoke with me in Lansing earlier this week, denied he used any taxpayer dime resources to do his cover-up, to which he admits, my sources are saying there are email that show the contrary, and those will be eventually coming out. That's the case. Those are the smoking guns.
Yeah, you talked to someone about that, Jim?
I did. Well, I can't name. They're confidential
of
sources, but I'm told that email exists. It's in the background. It hasn't been made public yet, but it could in the matter of the next few days.
Well, I know you're on top of it for us, Jim. You've got your sources up there, and you've been up in Lansing. We're waiting on big news with all this stuff, but we'll have to wait apparently till after vacation is done. So
at least until next week.
All right. Keep us posted.
You bet.
Thank you,
All
Jim.
right, the state is